Welcome to Tehachapi. Sit back and relax as Key Budge and Corey Costello talk about things that are happening in and around Tehachapi. Here's Corey and Key.
Well, welcome to another episode of Tehachapi. Corey Costello. I'm Key Budge. Corey, we're moving along, and as soon as we move forward, we seem to take a step backwards here in the county of Kern in the state of California.
Yeah, this goes back to the kind of the moving goalposts we've talked about in the past when it related to COVID-19 and, relief efforts and public health orders and that kind of stuff. So, I think, people have grown to be very resilient, whether that's business or citizens. And so, at this point, everyone's just making the best of it.
Yeah, and there's things that we look forward to as we move into our holiday season. And I was talking with Mayor Wiggins earlier today, and she was expressing how, disappointed she was that the Rotary Christmas breakfast for seniors wasn't going to be able to take place because she loves being there every year. And then I was telling her, we've got something special that the Rotary is going to do to try and substitute and take care of our seniors and the needy families. So the other day, I happened to come across a flyer that the Rotary Club had sent out, and this is pretty exciting. So I reached out to Rhonda Brady, and we've got Chris Neftel, and you are the president of Rotary, correct?
That is correct. I took over as president in July, and I'll be president all the way through June. So that's the way the Rotary year goes. And this is my second time as president.
Well, welcome back. They're not going to let you go very far. I know it. And then Rhonda, are you heading up the 12 Days of Christmas project?
I am. I'm heading up the 12 Days of Christmas. It's like an Advent calendar, and we're asking the community to help us out with this.
Excellent. So I think what we want to do is we want to talk about this program. I think it's important because we're going to miss out on, because of being in the purple tier, we're going to miss out on having to do something special for our seniors.
Yeah, I think normally it was the Christmas lunch for the seniors, which was always held over at McMillan Hall and at St. Malachy's. And I think it was actually one of the first, I remember my first year working here at the city about three years ago. I was sent to that, Greg said, why don't you come and, at the time, Mayor Ed Grimes was here with us, and I was so impressed, and what a fun day. And next thing I know, I'm bussing tables and getting coffee, and I think I did the same thing the next year, just kind of as an observer, but then just jumped in and helped out. And so it's obviously, as you pointed out, we couldn't that event couldn't happen this year, but I think what this 12 Days of Christmas is going to do is really replace that opportunity.
Yeah, so let's throw it to you guys. Where did this is this something that you guys came up with locally, or is this something that Rotary's doing on a bigger scale across the country? Tell us where it came about.
Let me tell you about this, Chris. I've been a Rotarian for about 21 years, and for 14 years I've been here in the Tehachapi Club. So about 20 years ago, this club started a tradition that's continued every December throughout the years. And the senior luncheon, as we called it, was a full-service sit-down holiday dinner consisting of turkey and mashed potatoes and all the goodies that go along with it. And it was all prepared by Rotarians there in the kitchen at McMillan Hall, like Corey mentioned. And Greg loved to come and help us serve and clean up and all that stuff every year. So we made sure we coordinated with him for the city Christmas party as well. So the first year we started the senior luncheon, there were 8 people in attendance. This past year, 2019, we fed over 300 senior citizens who had, come to love this party. They would show up early in the morning to have a 12 o'clock lunch because they wanted to meet up with all their friends and have a good time. So with this year, 2020, the onset of COVID-19, it had to be canceled, as Corey said. The next best thing to replace it with, we felt, was to make up a box of groceries and take to most of those seniors that we were feeding at the luncheon. This was just something that I saw on the internet, actually. It was like an advent calendar of 24 days or filling up a box and giving it to your neighbors or your friends or whatever. And I just sort of changed it over and said, let's do the 12 Days of Christmas and put 2 items in the box each day for 12 days. And then we can start distributing on the 15th. So it's not anything that Rotary came up with worldwide or nationwide or anything. It was just a thought I had one day when I saw that on Facebook. So passed it on to the club, and it's taken legs of its own. So we have boxes full of things like cereal, peanut butter, macaroni and cheese. It's all on our list. Excuse me. And you can find it on the Rotary website as well. And anybody can participate. This morning, I picked up 4 boxes from a lady who was gracious enough. She just lives in town. She had seen the ad in the Loop. She saw it on Facebook. She said it was meant to be. She went to the grocery store and filled up 4 boxes and brought it to me. I met her over at Home Depot this morning. So right now I've got 7 boxes. I believe Judy, another Rotarian, has 7 boxes. It's just starting all of a sudden. We're going to collect money as well that we can go and shop for the groceries. If somebody wants to just give a donation, we're happy to go and shop and fill the boxes. And then we're doing this all through the senior center in town. Lewis Brown is the manager over there, and he's agreed to help us store the boxes, get them distributed through the center. And we'll start taking them out to people or having them come by the center to pick them up after December 14th. So if anybody would like to help us, we'd be glad to accept donations or boxes full of food or whatever. There's phone numbers and email addresses, plus you can look on our website. So Chris, if you want to say something about this as well, that's about all I have right now. And I hope this goes well, and it looks like it's really going to.
Hey, Chris, let me ask you, so with this, when Rhonda pitches the idea, says, hey, I saw this, I know we can't do the senior luncheon, you know, you as the president, when you get an idea like this, how long does it take to get you guys going or to get this idea in motion? What's that process like?
Well, we have a board that runs our local club with 8 members on it, and we meet once a month virtually these days. And so we first heard about this at our October board meeting, middle of October. And during that board meeting, it just took off amongst the 8 of us. This is a great thing to do, because we were very sad we couldn't do the senior holiday luncheon this year. And then during that discussion, it went from let's just have members of the club put these boxes together to let's invite the community to participate. Because we're all about having the community learn more and more about what Rotary does for our community. So it really only took about a month for this to really mature.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Corey knows you're involved in so many different organizations. I mean, from concept to getting something moving, to have it this far along in 4 weeks is pretty impressive.
Well, it's a pretty good testament to Rotary and credit to everybody involved, because from what I've seen, they're probably the most active social club, that we have, the public service club, I should say, organization, because that's what they want to do. They want to serve the community, and to be able to organize it. And I'm glad to hear that Rhonda got this off Facebook, so there is good things on social media. That's occasionally you come across that gem and you wonder why your account's still active, and things like this pop up. But this is a big testament to Rotary and Chris and Rhonda and their entire team, and really this service organization and what they do to be able to pull it off so quickly. I mean, hats off to you all for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
It really says, with this COVID year that we've had, we've all made adjustments in what we do, and we're kind of understanding we have to work a little bit quicker to get through processes, to get things out to the public. We see that here on our side, on the government side, and obviously you're seeing it on your side. There is this service organization that is constantly trying to do positive things in the community, that you're making these adjustments.
Exactly. We each year we do service projects for the community here in Tehachapi. We do projects for the youth here and for seniors, and we rely on fundraising to be able to do these projects. And we've been hit very, very hard in that. We didn't have Cheers to Charity this year. the Apple Festival, all these things where we would be raising money. So we've had to be very flexible. With the farmers market getting extended, Adventist Health gave us a booth there, and we did a couple of fundraisers this fall, and that's helped offset our lack of money a little bit, but we've really had to adjust quite a bit this year.
What's the response been like from the community when you're like, whether it's this event or what you did at farmers market, or are people understanding that it's more difficult as a service organization to be in contact with people with all the restrictions that are going on, or do people just kind of not understand, the difficulty and challenges?
My sense is the community does understand. We've had a couple of companies contribute to this particular event that we're doing, 12 Days of Christmas. BHE and Terragen have both donated money. People in the community are donating money to this. I just want to talk a little bit more about the Rotary itself. We have 31 members here, and it's a very diverse group of people. We have one member who's on the Chamber of Commerce here in town. One of our Kern County supervisors is on our in our club. So we have quite a few ways to get the word out through these people. We have people like Rhonda, who's in the club. Just this fall, she received the People of Action Award from our Rotary district that covers about 4 counties in this part of California. So we've got great people within the club that come up with these ideas, and then we go out and we get them done with or without money. So we're trying to focus more on projects this year that don't require as much funding, like Meals on Wheels that the Senior Center does for the local area. We're donating more of our time to deliver those meals, because that's essentially no cost, to the club, just gas money. And things like bell ringing with the Salvation Army, we'll be helping with that. They're still planning to do it like they always have. Of course, we'll have masks on and keep a safe distance. So I think we're really adjusting well to the circumstances.
This brought up.
Can I say something
Yeah,
here?
go ahead.
As far as this project, the 12 Days of Christmas, I think people want to do something. They want to help. They don't know what to do. Anybody that I have given this story to or talked to about, they always say, can I help? Can I get a box of food for you? Can I give you $50? Everybody wants to help right now. Everybody's in the same boat. We can't go anywhere. We can't do fundraising. We can't even have our Rotary meetings. So I think people are hungry for doing something, and they've certainly been responsive to this, either through the newspapers or through Facebook. I mean, even the Cheers to Charity group, which helps Rotary every year, those board members have all got on board to fill boxes for us. So I think people really do want to help out right now.
And this goes back to something we talked in the past, really with COVID and the impact it was having on the nonprofits. That's why we have gotten a few of them on the podcast to promote what they're doing. And so there's still a need, because, see, the nonprofits meet the needs of so many other people in the community. And so there's still a need for the nonprofits to function and be supportive in these types of organizations. So it's great to see that sort of pivot and that ability to sort of change your business model. And because the services that folks like Rotary provide are going to be needed this year, as they are every year, despite COVID. So I cheers for being able to, continue and find a better way to do this.
Thank you, Corey. Thank you.
So if people that are listening, they'd like to be involved, like you said, as soon as they hear it, they say, how can I help? And I know, Rhonda, you mentioned go to the website. Let's give them the website address.
Chris, you want to do that?
Well, probably the easiest thing to do is to go to our Facebook page. So you just search on Rotary Club of Tehachapi, and that'll get you there. The ad is on the Facebook page. Contact information if you're interested in knowing more about the club. Um, I'm going to pivot a little bit here and also point out that some of our youth in the community is getting involved with this project.
Mhm.
Rotary has this other type of club called Interact, and it's for high school students. So students at both Tehachapi High School and Valley Oaks are planning to be involved in this project. So they're having to meet virtually, just like we are, but they're continuing. They do their own projects. They've helped every year with our senior holiday luncheon, so now they want to help us put boxes of food together.
Yep.
I know
Yeah, we're going to tap into them, get them to move those heavy boxes full of food. If we have to get them in the cars to deliver or help people get them in their cars when they come to pick up, we hope to have a group of Interact kids there as well. They're big, strong boys a lot of times.
You know, my father-in-law, longtime Rotarian, and he was involved with that Interact and the youth in the San Fernando Valley, and he spoke volumes of what it did for their confidence, their self-esteem, the things that it brought to the table for them, and then having mentors along the way to kind of just kind of encourage them and show them that there are things that they can do that are not about themselves, but it makes them feel better about themselves, the things that they are able to accomplish. So I understand that concept, and I know he's looking down saying, yeah, good. I'm glad you guys are talking about that, because that was a big deal for him.
Good. Go forward.
So I know that I'm going to, I haven't even talked to Greg about this, but I'm going to, try and get city staff motivated so we can fill some boxes, and, I'll be a designated drop spot here for employees internally. And hopefully I'll put out a challenge right now that we're going to challenge other businesses to do the same, that are listening. If you've got a business or you're an employee at a business, why not download this list of the 12 days and all the items that you'd love to have in this box, and put it out so employees can bring in, different items, and we can fill some boxes, and then we can give it to you so that way we can get it into the community. But I'm going to go ahead and accept the challenge here on our end to at least get it started on the city of Tehachapi side. So hopefully some others will take the challenge.
That's excellent. Thank you.
Corey, anyone you want to challenge?
Oh, wow. That to put me on the spot. Now I got to think of somebody I want to challenge. Actually, I would throw this tip out. How about this? As I'm going over the list, and it's not incredibly complicated things, whether you're shopping at a local supermarket, or if you want to give the money, you can certainly do that. But if you want to have more of a touch on it, you can either shop locally, or you can even have, I know Albertsons and Walmart, they do have kind of a shop delivered to your car situation too. You can order these things online, and this is all very simple stuff, and they can pretty much put it in your car for you, and then you can come drop it off here or wherever, in the senior center, wherever that works. But yeah, these are items that I think people don't even have to physically walk around the store this day and age. You can do this on a curbside pickup situation, at least a couple of our local stores. And
the nice thing is, I know on the flyer that it has the list of 24 items, and it says it's approximately $40 to $50. So for some, this is something that you could go do. And like you said, Rhonda, you had one woman that filled 4 boxes. So I mean, kind of taking Corey's thought process, going to Walmart and listing all these items, and they come deliver it, keep that receipt. That's your tax deductible receipt for that.
Absolutely.
And you've got all 24 items ready to fill a box for a needy family or seniors. So I think it's something that is very doable for some of us, that we're in a position that we can help and be positive.
The first box that I received from a friend of mine, she shops online, and she contacted Walmart and just gave them the entire list. When it was ready, she drove by our Walmart store and picked it up and brought it directly to me. So that's pretty simple.
It is very simple.
Yeah.
And it's doing good things. So again, for those of you that may be kind of joining the podcast maybe midway, we wanted to say that these boxes of food are going to be targeted for who in our community?
First of all, we have senior citizens and also disabled people that are on the Meals on Wheels program. They will receive the first ones. After that, we have senior citizens who go over to the senior center for their lunch bags. They used to go to the senior center and eat lunch every day, but it's turned into a lunch bag to go now. So those people are on the list. We're also taking names of people that need a box of food. I had a lady tell me she has 3 friends that she put on our list that are needy. So anybody that, any families, we're working through the schools. We have a teacher that is getting us some names of families that are going to benefit from this. So we're getting the word out to people that need these, as well as people helping us fill the boxes. So it's not just for senior citizens, although like I said, we fed 300 last year. Yeah, they're calling the senior center or they're calling me and getting on a list, then they will receive a box as their name comes in.
And this is all going to stay in.
Hopefully we will have enough boxes to fulfill all these wishes.
And this is all going to stay in Tehachapi?
Yes, it's all staying in Tehachapi.
Okay. And I noticed in the flyer, so if anyone would like to send a donation, they can, and they can send it to Rotary Club of Tehachapi, P.O. Box 897, Tehachapi, California, 93581. So
correct.
And you said some people have done that, so you've got 2 different ways that you can contribute to this program. And as I mentioned earlier, talking to Mayor Susan Wiggins, she said this was such an important program that has gone on every year, and this is a new variation of it, but it's very much needed, and our seniors and those that are in need really appreciate it. It gives them a little kind of a smile and an uplifting moment. So congratulations.
Sure. Thank you very much. You can challenge Greg that he's not coming over to help us bus tables this year, so he's welcome to come and pack boxes or fill a box as he would like, or anything at all. He's welcome to participate.
I'll make that happen for you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. He's always fun to have at the luncheon.
You let us know when it's time to pack boxes, and then we'll send a couple of us will come over.
Small army. How about that?
Yeah, and we will help with that.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to make sure this is
we would welcome that.
This collaborative effort, that you guys include the rest of the community, so we'll support in any way that we can. So,
sure. Appreciate that, Key.
Yeah. So anything else that we have to look forward to coming up in the coming year? Is there anything that you guys have beyond the 12 days that is in the queue?
Yes, we have about 12 different projects this year that we're doing here in the community. Toward the end of the school year, we're giving out scholarships to students at both high schools. In April timeframe, we're sending 6 of those Interact kids to a camp that Rotary does near Ojai. It's a 3 or 4 day weekend where they learn leadership skills, things like that. In fact, last year, one of the kids that had done that camp was an exchange student that we sponsored. And I believe he went to Denmark. And we have some other things. We give every kindergarten student in the Tehachapi area a personalized book each year. We give the kids a form that put in their parents' names, their friends' names, pets' names, their teacher's name, and each student gets a book with their name on it, and the story is caters toward the people's names that the student has provided, and that's really popular with the kids. I've like where I go get my hair cut, Claudia said that her kids that have gone through kindergarten still have their books today, even though they're teenagers. They're very proud of those.
Very nice. That's something that Corey will be looking forward to in the coming years.
That's right.
As your kids get closer to going to school.
We've already contributed to the Coats for Kids that Salvation Army does. In fact, Rhonda went and bought a bunch of these on behalf of the club, these jackets and coats. We plan to do some other things like a spring cleanup day, maybe on the trail that's over there at Willow Springs Road. One thing we did a couple years ago, people listening to this might have noticed, we teamed up with the city, and we planted 35 maple trees out at Bright Lake, and it's called Rotary Grove. So if you go out there, you'll especially in the fall, you'll see a lot of fall colors now out there. So we do so many things, and if anybody out there wants to get involved, go to that Facebook page. There's a contact number. If you want to contribute to your community, would like to join our club, call that number. We'll give you more information about Rotary, and we'll see if it's a good fit, for that person to join our club. Our motto is service above self. And worldwide, there are 35,000 Rotary clubs with 1.2 million members. So you become part of this worldwide movement to give back to our communities.
Well, excellent. It's very motivating to hear the things that you're involved in, and the fact that you were able to pick up, Rhonda comes up with an idea and you guys got it in motion, after having, the board of directors talk about it, and it already creates a buzz, and boom, you're off and rolling. And here we are. You've got a little bit of money that's been donated. You've got boxes that are going to go out to needy families, and hopefully it motivates some other people to get involved with the club. Maybe they've got more time on their hands because you're meeting virtually like where we are today. Right. Mm-hmm. The instead of having the luncheons in person as in tradition, the meetings are virtual.
Exactly. Normally we would be meeting Thursdays at noon at the shed for an hour. We have a really interesting speaker come talk to us each week. In fact, Key, you've come and talked to our club. But at this point, we have to meet virtually. And we started this in March, and we don't know how much longer we will have to meet virtually. But we still have speakers, and we use Zoom. So it's actually opened up the ability to have even more diverse speakers. Like we had the district attorney for Kern County speak to us a couple months ago. And I doubt she could have come up to Tehachapi and met with us in person.
Right.
Considering how busy she is.
Exactly. And if anyone is interested, also go to the Facebook page. Is that the best place to if they want to become a member or explore that?
Yes, exactly.
Great.
A fun thing about Rotary is once you become a Rotary member, you're always a Rotary member. And when you travel, you just find out when the Rotary Club in that town is meeting, and you just go and show up at the meeting and have lunch or have dinner or whatever time they're meeting. And you meet all these new friends all over the world. I mean, my husband and I traveled quite a bit. We had lunch or dinner with a lot of new friends all over the world, even Hong Kong. We went to a luncheon meeting in the city of Hong Kong at one time, which they didn't even allow women in their club, but there I was. So they served me lunch, and it was a very upscale, nice thing to do. But any place you go, I mean, if you just travel over to, I don't know, Las Vegas, you go to a Rotary meeting. It's a special community of Rotarians.
Very nice. And like I said, I can speak firsthand, knowing how the positive impact it had with my father-in-law for the many years that he was involved until he passed. It was just such an important thing for him, and I think he got much more out of it than he gave. He gave a lot, but boy, he sure got a big return for all that.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You do, Key. You really do.
Good deal. Okay. Well, we're going to wrap things up. Is there anything else that maybe we didn't talk about that you guys want to share, or do we just want to hit home the 12 days of Christmas and they can reach out via Facebook? Is there anything else in closing that you guys would like to share?
That's my important thing right now, is getting all these boxes filled and 12 days of Christmas so that people don't go without through the holidays. even if they have to fix their own food, at least they've got some food to fix. So that's my big deal. And Chris, I don't know what you might have else, but let's do a big push on this and see if we can't get more and more people involved. Thanks, Key.
What's the cutoff that we're looking at here? When does when will the program end?
December 14th. Okay. So we can prepare the boxes, make sure everything's ready to go that week. We will be distributing probably 17th, 18th, something like that during that week of December.
Outstanding. Good. Chris, anything in closing?
No, just hats off to Rhonda for coming up with this idea. And she ran that senior luncheon so many years, and it was so popular, and it really was so sad that we couldn't do it this year. But this is bringing that joy back to the club and hopefully to the community.
Excellent. And Rhonda, congratulations on the award. Well deserved.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That was a real surprise. Thank you.
Well deserved though. Well,
thank
you both for joining us here on Tehachapi. We appreciate it. And you guys have an open invitation. Anytime you've got something that's coming up, you let us know so that way we can talk about it here in the community.
Well, thanks for reaching out to us. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, Kate and Corey.
Well, Corey, I put you on the spot. But you know what? What a great organization.
I really didn't issue a challenge. It's more have made it easier for people to do this, but take advantage of the technology around us. And even, I hate to say this, but take advantage of COVID slightly, where more and more businesses are offering a curbside pickup or an order online. So do that. You don't got to leave your car and shop for this stuff all over the grocery store. You can most of them will deliver it right to your car in the parking lot now. So it makes it easier.
Well, I think my takeaway from what you said was your challenges to each of us individually.
Yeah, there you go.
That we have an opportunity to go ahead and use some technology, use these apps. Yeah. And it can be delivered right to you, and it's really effortless.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just a matter of going online, and this stuff is, like I said, it's not very difficult. It's a lot of staples, which for a senior are super important. And we work a lot with the senior center. I always said I think of all the meetings and stuff that I miss. I used to go to Rotary a lot. I'm not a Rotarian, but I would pop into the meeting, and once in a while I would speak, as you would on occasion. And so between Rotary and then the senior center, which was always, it was my favorite monthly meeting because that board is just so entertaining and they did such great work. But, I kind of, miss being around those folks. And so to be able to sort of incorporate the senior center and really just their fixed income and that kind of stuff, to be able to help them with these staples during the holidays is important, because then that sometimes frees up money for them to get a gift for their friend or a grandchild or something like that. So that's really the sort of trickle-down effect that something like this has. You might look at it and go, oh, well, it's just, canned sweet potatoes and cranberry sauce, but there's a reason why that's on there, and that'll sort of, that'll have a trickle-down effect for them and their budget, and just, having, something over the holidays.
Yeah, there's nothing like having a comfort meal.
Yeah.
This time of year when it gets a little bit cooler and you can just kind of pull out of the cupboards, and there you've got something. It just provides you that little bit of comfort, and you go, that was really nice and thoughtful of the community. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Hey, and then also we want to talk about shopping local as we're hitting the holidays, and you and I had some conversations about this, and we've done things over the past couple of years where we've just taken, that one day, that Super Saturday, the day after Black Friday, to shop local. But I think we're talking about doing a little bit more this year.
Yeah, in the past, we've had a couple different campaigns here in the city. Last year, it was really focusing on, because we did have more retail offerings as of last year, it was really focusing on the sales tax rate, which in the city of Tehachapi is lower than every other community around us. If you go into the Antelope Valley, you're paying upwards of 10%, Bakersfield nearly 10%. And so on some fairly decent-sized purchases, that's real money. So we really focused on that. And then prior to that, our focus was kind of our Buy One campaign, where we really encourage folks to buy at least one gift at a small business. And so this year, I think we're kind of really kind of combining both, the importance of shopping local, because you want even the Walmarts and the Home Depots and those kind of folks, that money stays here. So if you're going to buy that stuff, buy it here. But then also go out of your way a little bit to find the opportunity to buy that one gift at the small business that you're not going to find that stuff at the big box store. It's specific to you. We've got some great shops, specifically downtown, that offer that kind of stuff. And in a year where it's so odd what's happening, to be able to go that little extra mile for a gift will make a big difference to the person receiving it, the person giving it, and then of course that small business who has been trying to stay afloat after in and out of COVID, and that includes gift cards for restaurants as well, and all that sort of stuff.
And the gift cards, I think, to me is a big deal, because you might go into one of our smaller shops and you go, boy, I've seen something here, maybe on like on the antique road.
Yeah.
You can ask them if they do this, and I don't know which shops do, but they're constantly getting new things in.
Yeah.
So that having that gift card in pocket's like, hey, I'm going to pull it out and buy it when I see it.
Right.
And there's some other services and businesses that offer those kinds of offer their services via gift card. And it's just this year, I think more than ever, if you can't find something, ask that local business owner, hey, can I at least purchase a gift card? And then we'll make the purchase in the spring or whenever, we need it. But at least it gets that infusion of cash constantly going throughout the year, with these going back another tier.
Yeah.
And then the winter months, with it being colder and people maybe not wanting to eat outside. So anything we can do that can, like you said, keep the money here at home and just keep our local business owners are our neighbors.
Yeah.
And anything that we can do for that, I think, is something that we really need to think about doing.
Yeah, we've got that really unique stretch, along Tehachapi Boulevard, Curry area. A lot of them are the antique stores, but there's places like Gallery and Gifts, which I buy stuff there all the time because it's such cool, unique, usually handcrafted stuff that's made by a local artisan, and then they sell it there. And you can't find that stuff online. Amazon doesn't have it. Darlene's Toys on H Street. You want to step back in time slightly, and like when I go in there, I mean, wow, yeah, I remember this toy when I was a kid, or I had this, or I remember my friend had one of these, and it's stuff you can't really get it on Amazon. They've got these, throwback toys and that kind of stuff that's not a video game, So those places, you kind of think about those downtown, creating that sort of unique gift opportunity. And there's a Bible and bookstore as well, right next to them. So there's plenty of that stuff that you can take advantage of for that small business piece of it, and then as well, do your bigger shopping here locally too.
Yeah, it's you're saving money, but you're helping your neighbor.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
That's really what it kind of gets down to. And then also want to talk about our decorating contest that we're doing with, we got motivated here at the city, and we put up our holiday decorations, the Christmas tree.
Yeah,
everything is up early, or at least a week earlier than normal.
Right.
And we want to start to send that kind of holiday cheer and thinking that way, and a little bit of positivity, whatever we can. And sometimes it's colorful lights that just kind of take whatever it is that's got you down and kind of put you in a more positive frame. We're hoping any little bit, can change your outlook on things.
Yeah.
And then we wanted to say, hey, let's do our first annual decorating contest and invite the community. So we're inviting our residential neighborhoods to participate, and also our businesses. In Halloween time, the Go-To Girls went off the chain with what they did, decorating, their stores and getting the stores in that area. So I know they've already taken the challenge. They've entered the contest, and they said it's top secret what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they're going to have at both their stores. They're going to do it up, and they're kind of issuing that challenge to the other rest of the business corridor here in the community.
Yeah, and so we do have. I mean, you mentioned our Christmas decorations they're up. I know Public Works has been changing out the flags with the snowflakes, which usually happens right after Veterans Day, so they're on that. And the Christmas tree is up and illuminated. And a special thanks, Mike Para is the guy who really oversees our Christmas decorations. He loves doing it both at his house and for the city. So every year Mike finds something else. So this was actually the last time he's going to put the Christmas tree up. He's retiring. And so this was sort of an odd year, and now he's going to sort of go out, but he did put the tree up one final time. He was on the lift yesterday, putting the last strand of lights, and then he plugged it in for the last time, which is pretty cool. He really has taken a lot of pride in that, and he had to train others to take his place. He's going to be hard to replace though, because he really took Christmas seriously around here, and him and his crew are responsible for all the decorations you see around town. So hopefully we can continue to build on that. But I want to say special thanks to Mike and his team for what they've been doing with the Christmas decorations over the years.
Exactly. And with the Christmas decorations, once we announced it here, it's kind of grown. So we started off talking about challenging or inviting the city, if you will, to decorate.
Yeah.
And then that grew with the Loop wanting to come on board and include the county areas, our neighbors. So Golden Hills, Bear Valley, Stallion Springs are all included in this. And the Loop stepped up to be a sponsor of that. And then Love Tehachapi, who has been there for the last couple of years, sweating and breaking backs, picking up,
trash and yards and
Yeah.
weed eating and all that stuff. Yeah.
So they're going to participate and they're going to do some judging. So we threw them something positive, It was like, hey guys, every time we call you, it's like, hey, there's a yard here or whatever
Right,
it is.
we need something.
It's like, how about someone just goes out and enjoy the lights and tell us who's got the best of this or that? And they were all about it. So it's exciting to bring them on board. So we talked about that, announced it to the public, and then the library, Veronica gives me a call and says, Key, can we be involved? We want to participate and partner with you guys. And how about I put together some family Christmas light packs that can go out, and it'll include a Christmas light bingo card. So that the family can start to look for like a Santa Claus or a reindeer, and they can check off their bingo card, and then the winner gets a sleigh bell.
That's awesome.
And there'll be a coloring page in there. And then for the kids, there's a pair of like the 3D glasses, the cardboard when you go to the movie for the 3D movies. Well, she's got them for their color. It'll take the colors and put them into the show a prism. It'll change the colors.
I saw those at Home Depot. I didn't know what they were.
So she said she's including that and
Nice.
a little bit about the science behind it. And then there'll be a coloring page as well. So the libraries come on board to be a part of it, to make it so the family can go out and look at all these homes that want to not only enter the contest, maybe you're like my house. I'm not going to win a contest, but I'm okay with people driving by if they get a little cheer, seeing all the lights and things that we have set up.
Yeah.
So even if you are just decorating, but not to win a contest, let us know. Send me an email at kbudge, B-U-D-G-E, at TehachapiCityHall.com, or even at media at TehachapiCityHall.com. And we will include you on the list of lights. So let there be a parade of lights this year.
Yeah, I've already noticed. I mean, my neighborhood, I don't know if they're in the contest or not. I mean, even myself, I put some lights up. I've got more to do earlier than I normally would. But let me tell you, we've got some champions in my neighborhood already. And I remember growing up around here, even with fewer houses, we used to always get in the car and do a big Christmas light, tour, drive around and just follow the lights. And people had some amazing displays. And I feel like this year we're going to have more of that again. I think people got very busy over the last several years. And again, a slight advantage of COVID is maybe folks are kind of grounded and want to bring that back. So my hope is, and what I've seen already, I've never seen this many lights up before Thanksgiving. Yeah. And my hope is we're going to have a great tour. You can just drive around whatever neighborhood or around the entire valley and enjoy Christmas lights this year. I'm looking forward to doing it with my kids. I think they'll appreciate it.
Yeah. So our Christmas lights decoration contest is also a parade of lights, and we will share the addresses of those houses that decorated. So please send in your address to me via email at kbudge@TehachapiCityHall.com. We'll add you to the list, and we're excited about what's coming up. We're going to do the best we can here in this COVID Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. We'll make the best of it.
Well, Corey, thanks a lot for sitting in with me. I appreciate the time from Chris Neftel and Rhonda Brady. They were great. The 12 Days of Christmas, we'll have all of the information on that if you missed any of it, but they recommend going to the Facebook page for the Rotary Club of Tehachapi.
Awesome.
Great. So we'll catch you on a future episode of Tehachapod. If there's anything that you'd like us to talk about, shoot us that email, media@TehachapiCityHall.com. And we hope you have a great end of the year in this holiday season, and we look forward to talking to you soon.
Tehachapod is a conversation about Tehachapi designed for the people who live here or who would like to know more about this mountaintop community. If you have a question you would like answered, email media@TehachapiCityHall.com. We will try to answer it on a future episode of Tehachapod.